to the fatwa against Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse have a fatwa over him to be killed by a mullah. You are live on air in Debate TV. Who is with me?
Hi, this is Janine.
Hi Janine, how are you doing?
I'm good. I just wanted to comment on my religion, Islam.
Okay, great.
And just wanted to say that it's such a beautiful religion, and it's completely different than how it's portrayed on the TV and the media. And I just want people to know that whatever they see on TV is not always correct. And
like what about? Forgive me, please. If Islam is a beautiful, is it beautiful to beat a wife? Is that a beautiful?
I'm sorry?
Is it beautiful? You know, you sound like a nice lady, and I welcome you in our show. You are saying Islam is beautiful, right?
Yes.
Okay. If Islam is beautiful, how the Quran say the man he can beat his wife?
You have to look at the whole verse, not just one specific verse, and focus on it. Because in the Bible, Jesus also says that for every time that your eye sees sin, pluck it out. But does he mean that literally?
Yes.
If he meant that literally, yes, all the Christians in the U.S. and around the world wouldn't have eyes right now.
No, lady, no.
So
lady,
you have to look at the bigger picture. Many Muslims that I know do not even touch their wives that way, just out of respect.
No.
And although it is allowable in our religion for a man to, touch his wife in that way, although it's allowable, it's not always right because it can be out of control. And there's specific rules to that also. It's moderation. There has to be a reason. It can't just be out of no reason just because he wants to strike at her.
Like what?
And many Muslim families that I know don't even. It's best to avoid it. It's best to not do it.
No.
Than to.
If it's in the Quran, it means it's allowed, and we agree about that. Correct? It's allowed.
I'm sorry.
It's allowed in the Quran.
Yes, it is allowed. Okay, yes, great. It is allowed.
Now, what is the reason for a husband to beat his wife?
The reasons for it is to begin with, before even thinking about hitting, one's wife, you're supposed to communicate with her, talk to her about it. If, let's say, there's a problem, or if she's not willing to negotiate on something, or if he tells her to do something and she's not willing to do it, they should first talk it out and communicate. However, if she's still not listening and if she refuses to obey him, he can then, get to that step. Unfortunately, people can get out of control, and it should only be a light tap. It should not harm her in a way where she is severely hurt or severely bruised or anything like that. It should not leave a mark.
Does it say there?
It shouldn't leave a mark.
Does it say? Oh, that doesn't leave a mark, which means this is harm. I can beat the hell of you and it still don't leave a mark.
But here's the thing: if you interpret it that way, if everybody says that, okay, well, let me do it this way, as long as it doesn't leave a mark, that's just, it's just the person that's creating that rule. If in the Quran it says you're not supposed to leave a mark, then you can't just go around it
where in the Quran
just to have
says,
your way with your wife.
Sorry,
you know the rules, and if you respect and love her, you would not try and harm her.
Where in the Quran it says
and
don't
if you,
leave a mark?
I'm sorry?
Where in the Quran it says don't leave a mark?
I can get you a verse if you want.
Great. I will be happy to see it. Where?
Sure.
It doesn't say that.
I would be happy to show you.
Quran chapter 4 verse number 34 say clearly just beat them. There's no light beating. There's nothing about don't leave marks. This is not true.
I will show you.
Okay, great. I wanna see that verse. And remember, we are talking about chapter 4 verse number 34. And take your time and look for the verse, no problem. I'm talking to people who are listening to us. Like, first of all, regardless of how light the beating is an insult. If somebody spit at somebody in America, you take him to court because a spit is an insult. You don't spit at people. You see how light spitting is? Very light. Have you ever heard of somebody being killed because somebody spit at him? But this is a very bad insult. So it's very clear, number one, that Islam teach not to respect women, teach that women, they are nothing, and as you said, if you negotiate with her and she refuses to obey you, we beat her, which means I am allowed in Islam to force my ideas in other human being just because she is a female. If she doesn't agree, here we go, we got a solution, I will beat you.
Can I comment? It's not just because she's female. He doesn't have a right to hit her just because she's female. That has nothing to do with the fact that she's female. In Islam, men and women are equal but different, and they each have different duties, but they are both equal, and they each should be respected. And if a man truly loves his wife, he would never lay a hand on her. But it is allowed in Islam as a way to control and allow communication and try and fix the problem, so it wouldn't lead to more problems in the future.
So you are saying to me,
the first step that is really important is communication before anything. They have to talk it out.
Communication. You say to her, don't do that, correct? You say to her, don't do that. Then she do it, you beat her. Is that communication? Is that how communication is? And you are saying to me, will correct the problem by beating her. What kind of correction is correction?
No, I didn't say that. You're putting words in my mouth, sir. I didn't say to solve a problem he has to beat her. And I told you that it's not beating. It's
what?
A tap that is not going to leave a mark. I told you that.
Show me the proof. I have in front of me
Please,
hadith of Sahih
Bukhari. I ask you really, calmly and politely, do not put words in my mouth, because I know that this verse can be taken in many different ways.
No problem.
Just as
listen.
Just as the verses about jihad can be taken in a lot of ways, and the verse about the 72 virgins can be taken a lot of different ways. So I ask that you do not put words in my mouth as I try to explain this, because it is a complex subject. Go on.
No problem. First, you are the one who said, when I said to you, this is the problem is going to be solved, you said no. And by the way, this show is recorded. We can play it later. And you will see, yourself, you said, to correct the problem. Now, I said to you, is that how you correct the problem? You said, don't put word in my mouth. I did not say correct. So he is beating her for what? If he is not going to correct the problem,
it's not the only way to resolve a problem.
Please,
it's not the only way.
Please let me finish.
The best way to resolve any problem is communication.
Okay.
That's the best way.
Communication did not work. You beat her, correct?
Talking.
That's
what I mean. To talk it out. To try and talk it out and see what each person thinks is the right thing to do before anything.
You are saying to her, do this, or if you don't agree with me, I will beat you, correct?
I'm sorry?
The man, he don't talk to the women really. He's saying to her, don't do that. He's not negotiating and the proof if she
there is negotiating, because if he's wrong and if he says something against our religion, then who is he to say? Who is he to say don't do this? If he told his wife, don't wear hijab, then he's wrong. So he's not always right. The man is not always right. He's only right if he's speaking right, if he's speaking about justice. But if the woman is speaking about justice and refuses to do something that she thinks is wrong, she has a right to refuse that.
Okay, let us say.
For example, if my parents told me not to wear the scarf, or if my parents told me don't do this, don't do that, I have a right to refuse that. I respect my parents, but if they told me to do something wrong, what I think is wrong, I have a right to refuse that. So just because I'm female does not make me entitled to being weaker or to being silent. Because as a female, I will respond the way that I believe is right to respond.
Can I talk?
And I'll tell you right now.
Can I talk?
I'll tell you right now.
Can I talk?
I expect my husband to respect and love me enough so he knows to communicate with me. If he wants to talk anything out, he comes to me first and we negotiate together, because that's how a marriage works. When two people talk things out together. All my friends and all my family members who are married, alhamdulillah, they've been married for many years. That's what they do too.
How many wives your husband have?
I'm sorry?
How many wives your husband have?
There's only one.
Why? What do you mean
and
one?
It will only be me.
Why only have one? Quran allowed him to have 4. So how you are talking about negotiating and you are just the one of many in the house. This is
You know,
number one.
if my
Let me-
husband,
listen,
if my
listen, please.
husband,
Listen, I give you the time to
if
talk.
my husband,
Give me the time to talk. Give me the time to talk, please. I gave you time, right? Let us be polite. I gave you the time to talk. Finish your word. It's my time. And you said that if the husband, he ordered you to do something wrong, you do not agree with him. Now, if you don't agree with him in something right, he can beat you. Now, if he don't agree with you in something right, which means he is the wrong one, can you beat him?
if he is the wrong one,
Yeah, can you beat him? The same he do to you if you are wrong?
give me an example.
As an example, you mentioned to me yourself an example. Your husband said to you, don't wear hijab, correct? And
Okay.
you said to him, I'm not going to obey you. Now, he is ordering you to do something wrong. Can you beat him?
Literally, I can beat him, but I won't do that. I'm just not that
So
type
how
of person.
come he can beat
And
you?
instead,
Okay, listen.
instead,
How
I will
come-
tell him why he's
No.
wrong.
I'm talking in a
and-
religious way. I'm talking according to Islam. The woman, she cannot beat her husband even if he's wrong. But he can beat you if you are wrong. So what kind of equal
Sir,
is
Sir,
if you,
can you show me a verse where a woman cannot beat her husband?
can you show
Is
me
there
a
a
verse
verse
that
that
says
says
a woman
that
can beat
women
her
are not
husband?
allowed to
Yes,
hit their husband?
the Quran only mentioned man beating his wives.
Or are you
And
just making that verse up
Lady,
to try and
chapter
prove a
4,
point that is not
chapter
valid
4,
right
no.
now?
Listen, if the Quran never mentioned that the woman can beat her husband, this is mean you cannot beat her husband. It
Can I?
says-
You asked to see a verse, and I just wanted to show you, kind of what the Prophet really addresses towards beating,
Go ahead.
and I want you to see what I mean when
Go
I
ahead.
say that the beating is not to be vicious or severe or something that causes harm to the woman to the point where she cannot, answer back to her husband, where she's weak. I want to show you something
Okay, go ahead.
that addresses this issue that we're talking about, because you bring it up. You're not the first person, and I'm sure you're not the last, because I've been asked about many different types of verses in the Quran. But the thing is, people only look at one specific part of the Quran, and they focus on that, and they become negative towards it to the point where they are so close-minded they don't look to the bigger picture.
Okay.
And they think that if men don't beat their wives, they're not Muslims. But that is not true, because men can find ways where beating cannot occur, where beating should not occur. And if a Muslim man does not beat his wife, that does not make him a bad Muslim. It's the opposite, because it shows that they have a bond, that they communicate first before anything.
Why? Okay.
And
the man he beat his wife, he's a bad Muslim?
I'm sorry?
The man who beat his wife, he's a bad Muslim?
If he beats her to the point where it's beyond the limits of what Islam allows, yes,
Oh,
then
so-
he is.
so
then
only-
he's not following
so
Islam
only he is
correctly,
bad,
because he has to follow the
which
rules.
mean-
Because here's what I'm trying to say.
This way. You see, you're trying to
if
hide the
if
truth.
there are some Muslims,
You can
and
beat your
I'm
wife
sure there are. Maybe there are
until
some
a limit, until a
Muslim men
limit.
who say, okay, I'm going to beat my wife because the Quran says that, and they go too far, and they beat their wives, and she becomes extremely, bruised and hurt to the point where she's in the hospital.
So bruise are not allowed
That
in
is
Islam?
crossing. That is
Bruise-
crossing
bruise
the
are not
line.
allowed? Bruise are not allowed? Bruises are not
I'm
allowed?
sorry?
Bruises in the body are not allowed in Islam?
What is?
Like a man, he can beat his wife until she have a bruises. This is not allowed?
I'm saying if he goes too far with his limit, if he gets out of control, and where he's hitting
what
her,
control mean? What control mean?
where
I'm
he
saying to
suddenly,
you
where
specifically.
he's hitting her, but he does not understand why he's hitting her. He keeps on going,
So if
and he
you
loses
understand
control
why,
of himself,
I
and
don't
he
think
keeps
people
hitting
they
her.
will- Lady,
That's what I'm talking
I don't
about.
think people they will start beating a woman just for no reason. Simply, the Quran say the reason. She is not obeying him. Because the Quran says if she obey you,
Sir,
don't beat
that's,
her.
that's why I wanted to read you this, so
Okay,
you
go
could
ahead.
see kind of what I'm trying to get at,
Go
because
ahead. Go ahead.
I think you're just focusing on it so negatively. I don't,
No problem. Go ahead.
I just don't think. Okay, it says this is by the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam,
This is not Quran.
and
This is hadith.
this is what he addressed this about hitting and beating,
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
and he addressed this issue,
Okay.
and this is probably more clear than the verses you're reading right now.
No problem.
It says, he said, he said, you have rights over your wives, and they have rights over you. You have the right that they should not defile your bed, and that they should not behave with open unseemliness. If they do, God allows you to put them in separate rooms and to beat them, but not with severity. If they refrain from these things and obey you, they have right to their food and clothing with kindness. Lay injunctions on women kindly, for they are your wards, having no control of their persons. So he specifically and he repeatedly said kindly to the women. This indicates that the beating is not to be vicious or severe.
What is the hadith in Arabic?
And that women also have rights over their husbands, just as much as the husbands have rights over them.
What is the hadith in Arabic? Can you say it to me in Arabic?
In Arabic?
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay.
I would be happy to.
Read it for me in Arabic.
Okay.
Please.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up right now.
Because I don't think the word kindly exists there, but no problem. Now, it might take you a while before you get it. This is what you told me. Number one, it's mean the Prophet, he agreed with beating women, and he is saying kindly. What kindly? I don't know. You just said, don't make bruises, you know. This is what kindly in Islam. In Hadith of Sahih al-Bukhari, the book of address, Hadith number 5447, Raf'a divorced his wife, whereupon Abdul Rahman, you can read the Hadith, and he did beat her until he made her clothes her skin greener than her clothes. The Prophet.
Okay, can I comment on that? Because I know which verse you're talking about.
This is not a verse. This is a Hadith. This is Sahih al-Bukhari.
Okay.
He did beat her.
I know which
passage
passage you're talking
greener
about.
Than her clothes. Go ahead.
Can I comment?
Go, sure.
Okay. What I want to say about that is that many Muslims will do things their own way, how they see it, so they can interpret the Quran their way, but in the end, no one can judge them except God in the end. So let's say the guy beat his wife until she died. No one can say he's a bad Muslim or a good Muslim except God. So whatever they do, that's their life, that's their choices. What I'm saying to you is the Quran says the Quran never said to beat your wife to the point where she cannot move, where she's physically unable to perform, to get up or do anything. And nowhere in the Quran does it say until you beat her until she dies or anything like that.
Say to,
and so no one is a judge of anybody, even if the person committed a great sin such as murder. No one is a judge of that person except God, because that person has an opportunity to repent, to ask for forgiveness, no matter how great the sin is. And he has an opportunity, and Allah is most merciful.
Yeah, Allah
and He is able
to. Allah is not merciful. Sorry for that, but this is not our topic now.
Oh, Allah is very merciful.
No, He's not. Because
if you pray with all your heart, if you really mean it, if you really feel bad about what you did, He will forgive you.
If your God is merciful, He should not allow the man to use their violence against women. He should say to them, if you beat women, I'll take you to hell. And this is how you stop those Muslim men from insulting and abusing those weak women. You know, Allah,
He created humans in a way where we make mistakes, and Allah knows we make mistakes. That's why He knows we will ask for forgiveness. If He made us perfect, He would not even.
I put you on hold. Sorry for that. Please, we cannot talk at the same time. I will let you. I want to hear you, but we cannot talk at the same time. Okay? No. Listen to me. The hadith in Sahih al-Bukhari, and you are free to talk.
I'm trying to have a conversation with you, and you're trying to.
We cannot talk in the same time, correct? Do you agree? In the same time, we cannot talk.
I agree, but you didn't let me. Let me
say my say. Let me say my say. In that hadith, the man he did beat his wife until he made her skin greener. Did the Prophet say to him, "Shame on you"? Did the Prophet say to him, I'm going to punish you"? Did the Prophet say to him, "Don't ever beat her like this again"? No, actually he took the side of the man and he told her that he is right and you deserve it. The woman, she don't want the husband, she don't want to stay with him, she don't want to even have sex with him no more, and she is accusing him that he cannot have sex. The man, he is in response, he is beating her until her skin became greener than her clothes. The Prophet, number one, he took his side against her, the Prophet ignored how severe the beating is. As you see, Aisha, she is saying, Aisha, not me. Aisha said, I have not seen any suffering, any women suffering as much as a believing woman. Look at her skin is greener than her clothes. So the man that beat her until he made her skin greener than her clothes, what do you want more? Did the Prophet say why you did that? Nothing. Did he ask him, don't do it again? Nothing. Simply what he did, he said to her, you are wrong.
I know what you're saying.
And he is right.
I understand.
Yeah, so your Prophet agreed with the green, with the severe beating. Correct?
Like I said before, Allahu A'lam,
What do you mean,
God
Allahu
only
A'lam?
knows, and
Lady,
God can
no,
only
no, no,
judge.
no, no.
We
You
cannot
see, this is
interpret
my experience
that
with Muslims.
part or that story, that specific thing, and judge that person, oh, he's wrong, he's right, he's going to hell, he's going to heaven. We are in no position to say that.
Your
So,
Prophet is not
for
in
what
position.
he did,
Your Prophet
for what
is not
he
in
did
position.
to his wife,
Your Prophet is not in position to judge.
even the Prophet, he's human.
So
Who is he? God?
So are you saying
Astaghfirullah.
here? Are you
God,
saying? Are you saying
God
in this
created
case he
us
was
as
wrong?
humans
Are you saying,
imperfect
lady,
to
let
make
us make it clear.
mistakes
Let
to
us
ask
make
for
it
forgiveness.
Let us make it clear. Are you saying your Prophet in this case was mistaken? He was wrong?
I'm sorry?
Are you saying your Prophet in this case he made a mistake?
No, I didn't say that.
So
You said that.
then he agreed with beating until he
I never said that.
greener. That's it.
I
So
said,
he
I said
agreed,
the Prophet
he
cannot,
agreed with
even the
beating.
Prophet cannot determine who goes to heaven and who goes to hell. All
I'm
he
not talking
says
about
is
hell and
pray
heaven,
to
lady.
God.
Please, I'm not talking about heaven and hell now. I'm talking about a man, he beat his wife, and the proof he is the judge. They came to him, both of them. The women and the
Allahu
men.
Alam. God
What do you mean,
knows why
Allahu
he
Alam?
did
What do
that.
you mean,
Only
Allahu
God
Alam?
knows. We
No, listen,
cannot
listen.
interpret why the
This is-
Prophet was silent.
we are not
We cannot
interpreting
interpret
anything.
why
This is
why
the
he did
hadith.
not respond to that.
Lady.
What we could do, sir, is follow what he said about that.
What
Follow
he
what he
said.
said about the beating.
He said,
Follow what he
beat
said.
them.
Maybe he was
He
silent
said,
out of anger. You don't
beat
know that. Maybe he was
them.
silent out of anger and out of a feeling where he was sad for the guy who did that to the woman. You don't know that. You don't know how he felt. You don't know why he was silent. What we do know is what we should do in Islam, what we should do and what he's been telling us, what he's been preaching about God and about Islam and about husbands and wives. That's what we should do.
What
We
husband
should
and
focus
wife?
on what we
By the way,
should do. We shouldn't look at people and point to them and say they're right, and we shouldn't point to them and say they're wrong, because that's not the point. The big picture is to follow what the Prophet said is best to do.
Right.
And what the Prophet said is best to do is to take care of your wives.
Your Prophet, he is the one who taught people to do those things. This is why those Muslims are beating their women. For me as a Christian man, if I beat my wife, this means I'm a bad man. I will feel guilty in front of God and in front of the law. I will be taken to jail. According to Islamic law in Islamic countries, if a wife called the police saying my husband is beating her, they will laugh at her. He have the right to beat you. Shut up. So she cannot even file a case against him because simply this is his right to beat her. He made it as a legal law for beating. And now, as long as you are talking about heaven, I want to ask you, the man when he go to heaven, he will have 72 women, 300 boys.
Here we go.
How many women you will have? How many men you will have? How many men? The man he will have.
There is none. There is no equivalent for a woman.
Why?
As it is for a man. There is none.
Why?
There's no verse that says a woman will have 72 men in heaven. There's no verse.
No, really.
Simply,
first, this is in the Quran.
I cannot say why. I can only say why I think. I cannot say why because I'm not a scholar.
I can show it to you from Sahih al-Bukhari, and I can show it to you from the Quran. Open chapter 55, verse number 72. حور مقصورات في الخيام. مقصورات في الخيام. And read the explanation.
About the 72 virgins.
50, yeah, this is about the 72. Even the verse number is 72. This is why it's put in there.
Yes,
as 72.
I said yes. This is entitled for a man if he does jihad.
Why?
And that's
No.
Why?
It's about jihad. No.
Why?
This is not about jihad. This is any Muslim. He will get those 72 women. It's not about jihad.
But here's,
I can show you
here's the interesting part to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I have studied Christianity, I've studied Judaism and many other religions, and I agree with a lot of aspects about it because you asked me that online. But I'm addressing to what you said about jihad. Here's what happens and what's happening now and what people are doing now. in the Quran does not say you kill innocent people, and that's what many Muslims.
The Quran say kill innocent people, but this is my topic. You see, you are changing my topic. I put you in hold. You are changing my topic because simply you are ashamed of the Quran. Allah wanna give the man 72 women. Why he don't give you 72 men? This is our topic. Don't change. Later we will talk about you.
Are you done?
Don't change the topic, please. One by one.
That to me shows that you're weak, that you do not want to continue the discussion. If you're going to put music over my words,
to jihad
it means you're weak.
When we are not talking about jihad.
It means you're not willing to discuss this. And I'm trying to be mature with you. I'm trying to have a...
Don't talk about mature. Your prophet, he said, women, they are half a brain. ناقصات عقل ودين. So you never be mature and you will never be mature. And actually he said most of women, they will end in hell. This is your prophet word. I can post the hadith in a second. So don't tell me about being mature. Your prophet never considered you mature. And the proof, I can beat you if I'm a Muslim. I can marry 4 of you and I can beat you. And not only that, chapter 2 verse number 282 says that women are not equal to men in the court. Why? Because you're not mature. 2 women equal to 1 man in the court. Now, I will give you the mic. Answer me about this verse. Why the man will be given 72 women, but he will not be given any men? Go ahead.
I will answer by saying, only God knows. God knows what men want.
Is that an answer?
God knows what
God
men
knows.
are tempted.
Is that how justice is? Is that how justice? God, he decided to give you. You are a Muslim, you pray 5 times. You fast, you do everything Allah asks you for. So why Allah will give the man 72 women, he don't give you 72 men?
So the more important thing is, when you go to heaven, you can wish for anything you want. So who's to...
Just wait, please. You can wish anything you want, so you can wish to have 100,000 men and Allah will give them to you? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Did you hear what I said?
No. You can wish whatever
That's because
you
blocked me. I said when you go to heaven, you can wish for anything you want.
Like what?
So
like what?
Women
like
can
what?
wish for anything they want, just as much as men can wish for anything they want. So
no.
The main point,
are you saying to me you can have a lot of men for sex in the heaven too, as the man?
It's all halal. Everything is
so
everything in heaven is perfect. There's no sin in heaven.
Where you can show me Allah saying that the women, she will have a lot of men, same as the Muslim man will have. Can you show me that?
I didn't say that. I didn't say there's a verse. I said there's no verse that says women can have 72 men in heaven.
So you are making things up. The Quran
I'm not making up. Sir, in heaven,
lady,
you can wish for anything.
Like
you can
what?
have
like
anything.
What?
You are never incomplete.
Can you have a lot of men?
You never feel like you're missing out.
Lady, can
you wish for anything and your wish is granted.
Okay, can you as a Muslim woman, please listen to me. Can you as a Muslim woman wish to have 72 men and Allah will give them to you?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Can you as a Muslim women wish for 72 men and Allah will grant you the men?
In heaven?
Yes.
Allahu Alam.
What do you mean Allahu Alam? Give me the answer.
I've never been in heaven. I cannot answer that question.
So don't make
I've never
things
been
up.
in heaven.
Your God Allah promised only the men.
How am I making it up?
So Allah promised only the men, and this is not justice.
Jannah, heaven is perfect. So if a woman, let's say a woman wanted something in heaven, she would get it, no matter what that wish is.
Because I just asked you,
there's no such thing
are you going to have
there's no
a
such
lot
thing
of
as
men?
Feeling sad or feeling hurt or feeling depressed in heaven. There's no such thing.
Are you going to be given? Are you going to be given the right of having a lot of men? Yes or no?
I cannot speak for that. Allahu Alam.
So what you are saying?
The main point is, I don't care whether I get men or not. The point is, I want to get to heaven. That's the point.
Okay, why?
I don't care how I get there. I want to get there.
No,
but I don't.
But you are
the thing
yourself.
Is,
you are contradicting yourself. You are saying Allah will grant you any wish. In the same time, I ask you if you wish to have men, He will grant you that. You said I don't know. You just told me He will grant you any wish. So say yes, Allah will grant me 72 horny men.
I will say, inshallah, God willing, He will grant any wish that any person wants in heaven. I kept saying Allahu Alam. Inshallah, I cannot say yes or no for a fact, but inshallah, God willing, He will grant any wish,
Lady,
God willing.
you knew your prophet, he mentioned many hadith, and all of them say clearly that you will be given in the heaven to one of the Muslim men. You will not have any except one man. He will have many women, in the top of them all his wives on earth. And I can show you the hadith. And you know it exists there, but you are trying to deny that or trying to avoid to talk about. Isn't it your prophet, he said, that you will get all those hur, in the top of them, your wife on earth? Yes or no?
Can you repeat that? I don't
Did your prophet
understand.
says, you will get all, not you, sorry, the man, you will get all the women, Allah promised him, in the top of them all his wives on earth, correct?
Okay.
So you will be given to the man anyway. One of those men, Muslim mujahideen or Muslim fighter or Muslim good believers, he is going to be, you are a gift to him. You yourself a reward of a man, but you will never be rewarded. Correct?
Can you just ask the question, because I don't know what you're trying to say.
The man.
I'm sorry. I don't know if it's a station, but something is getting in the way. I don't know if it's static.
No problem. No problem. Okay.
Your voice is very distant.
Okay.
Can you repeat it again?
No problem. Listen to me from the phone, please, not from the web page. Your prophet, he said, Allah will give the men in the heaven all the hur Allah grant them for, and in the top of them all their women in earth, correct?
Okay.
So
you
yourself, you will be a reward for one of those men, which supposedly may be your husband now. But you will not get 72 men like him. No, you will be one of many women in his palace. So simply, instead of having one husband, 4 wives on earth,
in heaven?
In heaven, yes. In heaven. We're talking about heaven, lady.
Okay.
Okay. When you go there, your husband, he will have his 4 wives, like if he did marry in his lifetime 50 wives, he will have them in his bedroom. In the top of them, the 72. Now, you yourself are reward, but you have no reward.
Who are you to say that I have no reward?
That is what the Prophet says. Hello? Your reward is to be with your husband, that's all.
But the Prophet never mentioned what else is there in heaven. He only mentioned certain parts. That's what I mean about the Quran.
What else?
Like Bible and Torah and Quran.
You will be with your husband.
There's certain parts that are not mentioned.
Like
and
what?
You cannot say that only heaven consists of this. Heaven will only be the women being in a palace with one guy or something like that. You cannot be so literal and cannot focus on something that God has
I want to ask you about something else.
As a part of a
What about Allah will give the man in the heaven beautiful boys to serve them? How you explain that to me?
Okay. Sir, when we inshallah, when we go to heaven, we are pure. And to be honest, personally, I don't mind who what I'm doing in heaven, who I'm with, as long as I get there. That's the main point. And if I am in a palace with a lot of females and we have to share one man, honestly, I will be at ease, I will be at rest knowing that I am in heaven. It's a better thought and a better situation than being in hell. And that's all I really care about personally, since you asked what I think.
Do you have a guarantee that this is really
Now listen. Sir, can I speak?
Listen.
The main thing is to focus on how to get to heaven instead of focusing on something so small like how many girls does a guy get in heaven, because that's only a certain part, and not every man who dies in the name of God gets that, because some men don't do it the right way. They bomb themselves, they bomb other innocent people, and that has nothing to do with the name of Islam. That has nothing to do with the Quran, because the Quran says that you die in the name of God, but you do not kill innocent people. And that man in Texas killed innocent people. And those people in 9/11 killed innocent people. But Allahu A'lam, God only knows if they're going to heaven or hell, but what they did was wrong.
We are changing topic now. What innocent people in Islam?
I'm sorry?
What innocent people in Islam mean?
Innocent people are those who don't deserve to be killed, are those who are not
Who
involved
deserve to be
with
killed in Islam?
war
Who
or
deserve to be
violence
killed? Who deserve
or
to be killed?
causing
Who deserve to be
causing
killed?
any sort of dispute.
Who
That
deserve to
you
be
have to
killed?
be. For example, I'll give you an example where, inshallah, the men who die in this, you know, in this place or this situation, inshallah, they will go to heaven. Inshallah, Allah A'lam, but I'm telling you a situation. Let's say, you know, I'm talking about right now.
No, I don't know. Tell me. Are you there?
Until they die. Both
Repeat again, please, because I lost your voice. Repeat again what you said. Can you repeat again?
decide to go and kill Israeli men. He is defending himself, defending his country, fighting in the name of God. Inshallah, he will go to heaven.
So
However, if a man went to the
listen,
supermarket, blew himself up, and blew other people.
Listen. Just wait. I have to put you on mute because I want you to repeat again. I did not hear a word. I lost your phone for some reason. So I will take you from hold. Repeat again what you said, please. I did not hear anything. Go ahead. Do you hear me? Repeat again, please. I did not hear any word. Hello?
I already told you what I.
No, repeat again,
It
please.
seems like you.
I lost my
It
voice.
seems like you don't want to hear it because you know it's the
voice,
truth,
lady.
or you don't want
Trust me.
other people listening
Lady,
to it
you
because
can-
you know I
you can
speak the
listen to
truth,
the
and
show
you don't want them
later.
to hear what I want to say
Lady,
because you want them to
lady,
listen to the media. You want them to listen to what the media
lady,
says and
oops.
feel.
What's wrong with you? This is a show is recorded. When we play it later, you will see your voice is not coming through. I'm not lying to you, and I'm asking you to repeat it again, please, because we did not hear a word. I'm not trying to silence you. Repeat again. If I want to silence you, I will not say repeat again, please. Go ahead, repeat again.
Okay. For a man to die in the name of God the right way, again, I'm saying, inshallah, Allahu A'lam, I'm saying, you know, for jihad to be in the right way, of course there are many meanings for jihad, but one example is if a man died for his country in the name of God, in the name of dying for one God, for his religion, for his country, for his people, for his land, is if, for example, during a war, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, both sides know that they may die. So if a Palestinian man went and killed Israeli men, he's defending himself. He's defending his country. He's defending his land. And the Jews, the Israelis know, they know that they're going to fight back. And subhanAllah, even the smallest kids throw rocks. That's a form of defense. That's a form of jihad, because jihad is not a holy war. Jihad is when you struggle to do what's right, struggle to do justice in a situation where injustice is happening. And it can be so many things. For example, wearing hijab in the U.S. is a form of jihad, because you're wearing it around people who hate your religion, around people who hate the thought of wearing hijab. So that's a form of jihad. Another form of jihad is when you defend somebody from a fight. If two people are fighting and you defend a person because some person calls that boy a name, and you say that's wrong, that's a form of jihad, because you're doing justice. So jihad, in a way, it's not a holy war. It doesn't mean blow yourself up. Doesn't mean blow innocent people up. It means you do the right thing when you are in a situation where people are when people are going against you for the wrong reasons.
Okay.
And it's happening everywhere, sir. But
okay, let us go now. Let us go for the first thing you said. The first thing you said, when the Palestinian, he defend himself against the Israeli, he is doing jihad. So how you explain to me Allah in the Quran in chapter 5 verse 21 saying to Moses to go and kill the Palestinian?
Again, Moses had a message by God at that time.
Oh,
and whatever
so
he
you
did,
can kill the Palestinian at that time.
Whatever
it was
he
okay?
did, even though he had a message by God to kill Palestinian, my people that I consider my people, I don't see that as wrong, because he had a message by God, and whatever God says is right.
Okay, so
because God is perfect.
Killing the Palestinian is good if they are not Muslims. Killing the Palestinian is bad if they are a Muslim. Is that what you are saying?
I'm sorry?
Killing the Palestinian is good if they are not Muslims. killing the Palestinian is bad if they are a Muslim. This is what you are saying to me. Allah told Moses
No,
to
I
kill the
didn't.
Palestinian. This is what you are saying.
You're giving me an example of
you
a
just
prophet,
you
sir,
just
and a
said that
prophet does
listen,
what God tells him.
doesn't matter. Just hold, please. Hold on. I put you on hold. You just said that you don't have a problem with Moses killing all the Palestinian because simply Allah ordered him to do that. Why? Because they are Muslims. But now, because they are Muslims, you don't want anyone to be killed. This is wrong. Now you have the right as a Palestinian to defend yourself and kill the Israeli. Before, Moses and his army can kill the Palestinian, and he's a good guy. Why is that? Go ahead.
It's interesting music you have on there.
I don't have a music, lady. Go ahead.
Yeah, you put music on to block me out.
This is the phone. When I put you in hold, it's me. When you're hearing music, it's me you're on hold because we can't talk at the same time. Now answer me, please. How good it is to kill Palestinians when they are not Muslims, and at the same time, it is not right to kill the Palestinians when they are Muslim. Is that fair?
I didn't say that. You said that. I said that. I said that what they're doing in Israel right now is wrong. Okay, not because they're Israelis, not because they're Jewish, but because they're taking land over the Palestinians.
First,
and they're taking it unfairly.
This is the land of the Jewish. The Quran says that Allah gave the land to the Jewish. It is Allah's fault. It is Allah who ordered the Jew to go and take it, correct?
Why do you think Christianity was formed? Why do you think Islam was formed after that? Don't you agree that maybe something happened, that God sent Jesus to spread a message, God sent Muhammad to spread a message, because something happened with the Jews?
Lady,
don't you agree that something happened? Otherwise, if that was a true religion, if the Jews really obeyed God, if the Jews really obeyed Moses, wouldn't Judaism be the religion and the only religion right now?
Okay. Okay, you see, I have to put you in hold again. You are changing the topic. My topic is why it is Allah want to take the land of the Palestinian. When you say the Jewish, they took the land of the Palestinian, who gave it to them? It is Allah. So we have to blame Allah, not the Jew. Do you agree? Go ahead.
You don't have to put me on hold that long. You can just put me on for a second.
Because you keep talking. We can't talk at the same time.
Understand.
So, Allah gave the land to the Jew. Shouldn't we blame Allah for this problem?
Of course not.
Why?
Because it's people who create problems, not God. It's people who create the problems in this world.
Okay. Just wait. If Allah gave the land to the Jewish and the Palestinian was living there, is that right?
I have a perfect point for that. If Allah gave the land to the Jews, why weren't they living there all these years? What happened? Why suddenly after the Holocaust did they ask for it back? After generations of Arab Muslims were living there, generations of Palestinians.
Listen, okay, let me put you on hold again. If Allah gave it to you, regardless who took it from you, you will take it back. This is my answer to you. Isn't it Allah is God and He is the one is right one? Allah gave the land to the Jew. They have a documentation in your book in the Quran says Allah gave us this. Shouldn't Allah, or maybe Allah was wrong? You said no. So they have the right to come back to their house anytime. This is a gift from them, from Allah to the Jewish. And you said very funny thing that it's okay to kill the Palestinian when they are not a Muslim, but it's wrong to kill the Palestinian when they are a Muslim. This is hypocrisy. You're mine. Go ahead.
Can you answer that?
I did not hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, I said, why suddenly did the Jews claim Israel as their land after the Holocaust, after so many years when Muslims and Arabs were living there all their lives?
What do you mean suddenly? Jesus is from where?
Can you answer my question?
What do you mean suddenly? This is their land. This is their land forever.
No, I asked you a question about Israel.
About what?
Why did the Jews claim it after the Holocaust and not when Moses...
They claim it up always. This is their land. But if they cannot have it, doesn't mean they don't claim it.
Right, but after all those years, why after the Holocaust?
Because now
why
they can
couldn't
get
they claim
it back.
It before?
Because now they can get it back. It's their land.
Right, you don't have an answer to that. You're just saying excuses
now
that now
they can have it.
Suddenly after the Holocaust, because
listen. Okay, let me put you on hold again. The Jewish for hundreds of years, thousands of years, they are looking to go back to their home. And the proof, when the Babylon took them to Iraq, they go back to Jerusalem after 70, 80 years of slavery. When the Pharaoh take them to Egypt, they go back to Jerusalem. It's mean always the Jewish, their dream is to live in their own city, in their own hometown. All the Jewish in the world. But always there is people who forbid them from doing that, either the Roman, or then the Muslims, or whatever take over, you know, he kicked them away. So those people, when they get a chance to get back, they get back. Now you don't want to answer me why Allah is being unfair, because if it's unfair to take the land of somebody, how come it was fair that Allah take the land from the Palestinian, giving it to the Jew? Go ahead.
I just want to say that I have nothing against Jews or Christians or Hindus, Buddhists, because I know many people. I have many friends from all different types of religions and cultures, and I respect them all.
Can you have?
I'm just answering what you're asking me.
No, lady, you are lying to me. You are lying to me. You are lying to me, with my respect to you. A Muslim, he cannot take a friend from the Jew or the Christian.
And you're going to show me a verse, because there's a verse in the Quran that says that, right?
551. Go ahead.
Yes,
I can show you many, by the way. Not only one. I can show you more than 10.
Yes, there's more than one.
Right.
There's more than one verse.
Correct.
But the thing is, many people take those verses literally, and they say that.
Oh.
Because, sir,
yeah,
if I actually, right now, I have many different types of, friends from everywhere. But does that make me a bad Muslim? No, because Muslim embraces people from everywhere. Islam is a religion for everyone. So if it's not a religion for everyone, then what are we going to do? Isolate ourselves from other people?
Okay, so answer.
I live in a world. I live in the West.
No,
I live in the U.S.
You are just using taqiyya.
How is it?
You are using taqiyya, lady. Your prophet in the Quran say clearly, don't take them as a friends and protectors. Now you live in the USA. Does that mean you accept the president of USA to be your president? The Quran say no, you cannot. So you are practicing taqiyya, which is allowed in Islam to lie. And you are saying to me, I have many friends when the Quran, actually your prophet, he said in the hadith, don't initiate salam to the Christian and the Jew. And if you meet any of them, force them to the most narrow alley. And you are telling me you can take a Christian and a Jew as a friends?
Well, you know what? I am. And I will continue to do that, because I believe that this is how they see, this is an opportunity to see Muslims for how they really are. And my friends see me for how I am, not the Muslims seen on TV. So I'm going to take that risk, sir. And inshallah, Allah... Just wait.
I will put you on hold. Take a risk to go to hell, because the Quran say clearly, the one who take them as a friends is one of them is an out of mercy. Simple, clear. Open Ibn Kathir, open Al-Qurtubi, open Al-Tabari, open Al-Jalalain, open any explanation book, all of them saying the one who take them as a friends is going to go to hell unless he is lying. It's okay. Your mic. Answer. Isn't this what all the Muslim scholars say?
I already answered.
You did not?
Did you hear me?
No. You wasn't hold. I said to you, Ibn Kathir, Al-Qurtubi, Al-Tabari, Al-Jalalain, and Sahih Al-Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, Musnad Ahmad, Ibn Majah, Ibn Dawood, all of them say that a Muslim cannot take a Christian or a Jew as a friend. And if you do that, even the Quran say that, with the explanation, if you take a Christian or a Jew as a friend, you became one of them. Correct or wrong?
Sir, I answered your question.
Correct or wrong?
I answered your question.
No, you did not.
I know what you're saying.
You told me, no. Simply, if you're scholars and your prophet himself saying you cannot do that, what you say in a radio station... Can I
actually flip this and ask you, do you think a person is a bad Muslim if he doesn't, have friends, from, Christian, Jews? Do you think he's a bad Muslim?
The good Muslim is the one who hates us. The good Muslim is the one who kills us. The good Muslim is the one who kidnaps women. The good Muslim is the one who does what is written in the Quran.
You're very mistaken.
Let me show you.
It's really sad
in chapter 4, verse 24,
how this has gotten to this point, sir.
Lady, just wait. You are on hold again. In chapter 4, verse 24, it says that a Muslim man, he can rape unmarried women. Just because she is a Christian enslaved by him. Explain that to me. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Why do you put me on hold when I'm trying to
Because
answer?
we cannot talk in the same time. Chapter 4, verse 24.
I never heard you.
You can.
I never heard. Can't you tell me that you want to speak instead of block me?
I'm repeating again
Well,
because we cannot talk in the same time. I'm giving you a chance. This is your chance. Chapter 4,
Well,
verse
you
24.
actually you didn't give me a chance. You said
see, you don't
answer
wanna
and then
talk.
you blocked me
You
when
don't
I'm
want to
trying to
answer
speak.
because we cannot talk in the same time. You
Exactly.
Muslims,
So why can't you give me my time to answer? I gave
no,
you
it's
your
not your
time to
answer. It's
recite
my
the
time.
verses of the hadith.
You
I
are
gave you
saying
the time.
things is a lie.
But yeah, when
I
it comes
am the
to
one
me, you
showing the
block
hadith.
me.
I am the one showing the Quran. You refuse to read the
But-
Quran. You are ashamed of your Quran.
Can I answer?
You don't want to answer. If you want to answer, read
I
the verse
do,
for me.
but you won't let me.
Okay, read the verse for me.
I've been trying to answer this
Read
whole
the
time.
verse for me, please.
Everything that you said is correct.
Okay.
I did not deny anything. It's correct.
Okay.
And I've read those verses. And I know those verses. Alhamdulillah, I know what you're trying to say. However, like I said, there's many different interpretations. And there's nobody out there that says this is the correct interpretation because nobody is God. You know what I mean? So
somebody
everybody...
knows.
So
Nobody knows.
if I'm taking a risk by having, Christian, Jewish friends, that's a risk I'm willing to take because at least they see me for who I am. At least they see a Muslim for who a Muslim is instead of those people portrayed on TV.
Which Muslim?
So
Okay,
if that's a risk, if that's a sin, sir, if that's a sin, God forgive me. But that's a sin
What do you
I'm
mean
willing to
forgive
do.
you? No. The verse says, وَمَنْ يَتَوَلَّهُمْ مِنْكُمْ فَإِنَّهُ مِنْهُمْ وَإِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَهْدِي الْقَوْمَ الظَّالِمِينَ. So you are saying that if you became a friend to them, you became one of them, and Allah called you.
So you think
a bad one.
think becoming Christian is bad?
This is
Because
what
you're
God
kind
saying.
of contradicting yourself. You're saying you're becoming
Listen,
one of them.
This is what
that's
your
bad.
God saying. This is your God words.
How is that bad, sir?
Actually, your God says we are the worst creatures. Your God, Allah called us as the wab, which mean animals. Your God is the one. Do you want to show the verse?
انتوا المسيحيين واليهود من أهل الكتاب من أهل الكتاب, and there's a verse that says they are the people of the book, so you respect them and you give them dignity and you respect them. Christians and Jews and Muslims are people of the book, and they come from the prophets Musa and Isa, and that's why we have to respect them.
Do
We
you want
don't
me to show you
hurt
the
them.
verse?
We don't try and...
Do you want to show you the verse? Open chapter 8, verse number 55.
I know the verse.
No, you
I
do
know
not
what you're
know it.
reading. I have
You
it
do
right
not
in
know
front
it.
of me, sir.
Okay, read it for me. Read it. If you know it.
The chapter 5, the one that you
No,
exactly
I'm not
that you
talking
just
about chapter
said,
5.
and
I said
responded.
your God. I said
I
your
responded
God.
to your question, but it's
See,
like you don't want to. You don't want to hear it. It's
you
like
don't want to
every
answer.
time I try and say
You
something
are
positive
saying
or
that
try and say
God-
my opinion on it,
No.
you don't want to hear it.
You are not putting
And
your
that's
opinion.
what kind of frustrates me because
Okay, just hold. You see, we cannot talk at the same time. When I showed you your God, Allah saying, if you take your on hold, don't talk. Allah says, if you take them as a friend, you are one of them. You said to me, I can be one of them. You have no problem with that. Allah saying, if you take one of them, you became a bad person. You said to me, are you saying to me Christians are bad? It's not me who's saying that. It is Allah. You see how you play with the words? Your God, Allah saying, the one who take them as friends is bad. And your Prophet explained the verse. If you take them, you are out of mercy of Allah. You will never enter heaven. And you are not a Muslim. And you are the same as they are, which means you are filthy. Now, you answer me. Go ahead. Speak.
can I show you?
Read the verse.
Okay, this is just from Surah 5 Al-Ma'idah, and it's verse 18. Do you want me to read it in English or Arabic? Which one do you prefer?
This is the one you choose. You chose this one for. This is abrogated verse.
It's the one about Christians and Jews.
This
It's
is
about
abrogated, lady. This is an abrogated verse. Don't you know what abrogation mean?
you don't want to hear the verse?
You go ahead. What does verse have to do with our topic anyway? What does verse have to do with our topic?
You were talking about Christians and Jews and how we're not supposed to be friends with them, and I'm trying to explain it to you. But
you said
don't wanna hear it.
5:18, correct? You said 5:18.
Yes, 5:18.
And this one about being a friend to them. Show me that.
I'm sorry.
This verse about being a friend to the Christians.
It's talking about what happened.
This is not our topic. What happened? First, the verse is full of mistakes.
Okay, right after that. Oh,
the
people of the book, Ya Ahl al-Kitab, that a messenger has come. That just shows that it ties all three of us, like all three religions together.
What a messenger come? Wait.
Ya Ahl al-Kitab, O people of the book, is mentioned several times in the Quran. Several.
Lady, you do not know how to read the Quran. This is not verse number 18. You are reading number 19. In the Quran, the number come after the verse, not before it. So learn how to read your book. You are teaching me about your religion, but you do not know.
I'm reading my book, right? I have the Quran right in front of me,
chapter 5,
considering the fact that I'm Muslim,
lady,
I don't think it's your place to even question what I'm reading and question my belief.
I am a scholar.
Because you're the one misinterpreting.
Just wait. I'll put you on hold. You said the chapter 5 verse 18, but you are reading 5:19. Did you get the point? I am teaching you how to read your Quran. In the Quran, verses come after, the number come after the verse, not before. Are you Ahmadiyya? The mic is yours. Are you Ahmadiyya because you are using the wrong Quran? Are you Ahmadiyya?
There's only one version of the
Quran. Are you
Ahmadiyya?
No, there's many versions. There's many versions.
The Bible has been changed,
lady,
but the Quran has never been changed. So each version that you read is the right one.
Lady, there is many versions, and the proof you are quoting for me verse number 18 as you said, but it is 19.
No, I said 19. I said
no,
the one after that.
You said 18.
Ya Ahl al-Kitab. If you heard me right, unless you blocked me again, I said verse 19, Ya Ahl al-Kitab.
We are recording. It is 18.
يبين لكم على فترة من الرسول. That's what I said. Verse 19. I said the one after 18, after وقالت اليهود. I said Ya Ahl al-Kitab. Why would I confuse those verses if I didn't have it in front of me? Okay. Why would I make that up?
What this verse is about? Nothing. What does this have to do with our topic?
Because you're talking about Christians and Jews and Muslims not being friends, and I was just pointing out that
no, but we are kuffar.
People of the book.
We are kuffar.
I'm sorry?
We are kuffar in the Quran, correct?
Are
we kuffar? The Christians, are they kuffar in the Quran or not?
The ones who believe that Jesus is God, kuffar, of course.
So don't tell me Christians are your friends. You see, we are kuffar. We are called dogs. We are called monkeys.
Here's the thing. There's different sects in Christianity.
You see how hypocrite there's only one Christian.
Some Christians tell me they believe Jesus is God. Some Christians tell me that God...
Let me put you on hold. Listen. All Christians in this world believe Jesus is God. And your Quran says whoever believes that Jesus is God is a kuffar. So you cannot take the kuffar as a friend. You can take only the Christians who believe Jesus is just a prophet, and those are Muslims. Those are not Christians. Now your mic. Go ahead. You believe you can take the Christians who are your friends, as you said, from those who believe Jesus is not God. Now who is the Christian in the world who believe Jesus is not God? Tell me. Hello?
I can name any.
Name. Go ahead.
The thing is, no.
Name one Christian.
There's Catholics. There's Pentecostal. There's
Lady, don't lie. The Catholic believe that Jesus is God, and you are lying. There's not even one Christian in the world believe that Jesus is not God. Now, this is mean you cannot take anyone as a friend unless he believes Jesus is not God. Great, I got my point now. It's mean all the American who they are Christians believe that Jesus is God is your enemy. Correct? Go ahead.
Okay, can I clarify?
Go ahead.
Okay. A kuffar is someone who does not believe in God. And Christians, you know, they obviously believe in God.
No.
Jews believe in God. Muslims, of course.
Just wait. Your God says, لَقَدْ كَفَرَ الَّذِينَ قَالُوا إِنَّ اللَّهَ ثَالِثَ ثَلَاثَةٍ. Chapter 5, verse number 73. Don't tell me they don't believe in God. They believe in God, but they share God with God. and those are the Christian. And here they are talking specifically about the Christian. Chapter 5, verse number 73. Now, why Muslims love to lie? Your mic. Go ahead. Why you are lying to us? Chapter 5.
How am I lying to you?
Chapter
I'm telling you the
5,
truth. I'm telling you I have Christian friends.
You said,
if I was lying, I'd be like, if I was lying, I'd tell you I have no Christian friends. I have no Jewish friends.
You have
but that
no
would be
friends.
a lie.
Trust me, I know it. You have no friends. You are lying to us. Chapter 5, verse number 73 says, لَقَدْ كَفَرَ الَّذِينَ قَالُوا إِنَّ اللَّهَ ثَالِثَ ثَلَاثَةٍ. Those who believe that Allah is the third or one of the three, they are kuffar. He's talking about the Christian,
yes,
correct?
Those who associate, yes, they are. That's
so
what I said.
Kuffar.
Those who associate with God, it's like I said, shirk. Shirk is association with God.
So
but
we Christian
there
are
some
kuffar.
Christians. I'm serious. I have a Christian friend who says that God is separate from Jesus. I don't know where she got that idea from, but she tells me she was raised.
Listen. Oh, this is the one you are taking him as a friend, the one who don't believe. Do this Christian believe Jesus is God or not? Don't tell me about separate. Do this Christian believe Jesus is God or not?
They believe that God created Jesus. That's what she told me. That they are
God
separate.
created Jesus.
My other
she is no Christian. This is a Muslim. This is your Muslim friend. This is your Muslim friend, and you are lying. There is no Christian in this earth. He believes that Jesus is not God. Jesus is not the Son of God. Jesus is created by Allah. This is what Muslims believe. So you are playing games, going around in a circle. The verse is very clear. And if you read the explanation or the book of Asbab al-Nuzul, you will see your prophet talking about us, the Christian. So simply, you are creating your own list of friends, calling them Christians, trying to play games. So let us make it clear. Anyone who believes Jesus is God is your enemy, correct? Correct?
What's correct?
Anyone who believes that Jesus is God, in Islam he is an enemy to Allah, correct?
Allahu Alam.
Well, don't tell me Allah. Don't be a liar. The verse is very clear. It says they are kuffar.
I'm not a liar,
and the kuffar.
because Allahu Alam means God only knows. And
only
that's
Allah knows. So what Islam is about? If nobody knows except Allah, so why Islam is exist? Islam is exist to teach you the truth, correct? The Quran says the kuffar are the enemy of Allah. Do you agree, or do you want me to show you the verse?
No, I know.
You know? So why you are saying? Why you are saying?
Who am I
Allah
to
knows?
say that Christians are not going to heaven? I can't say.
Listen. It is not you who is saying that. The Quran, chapter 5, verse number 73. لَقَدْ كَفَرَ الَّذِينَ قَالُوا. Those who they are Christian, they are kuffar. So we will go to hell. You like it or not, according to Allah. For me, I will be in heaven, and you will be in hell. You are changing the topic because you cannot answer.
Why do you think I'm gonna go to hell?
Because you are worshipping. Okay, how God can be a leg? You tell me how you worship.
Why do you think you just told me that I'm gonna go to hell? Why do you think I'm going to hell?
How you worship a leg?
I don't worship the lake.
Allah is a leg.
No, Allah created the lake.
No,
He is the creator.
He is the leg. Open chapter 68, verse number 42. Right now, I'll read it.
Wait, chapter 68?
68, verse number 42.
68?
Verse number 42.
يوم يكشف عن ساق.
عن ساق.
That's the one you're talking about?
Right.
Where does it say that God is a lake?
This is the leg of Allah. Allah is a leg.
The lake of Allah.
Yeah.
Allah created the lake.
No, listen.
Every Muslim knows that. Every person knows that God's the creator.
Okay, lady. The saq in there is the saq of who?
I'm sorry?
The saq, the word saq means shin, correct? The word saq means shin. Okay.
Yeah.
Allah will uncover the shin. This is the shin of who?
I think you're trying to twist the verse, because the verse is trying to say that the lake worships God. It's sujood. It worships. The lake worships God. Every creation from God worships Him. The trees worship Him.
It says He will come and cover one leg, not every leg. Read it. يوم يكشف عن ساق, one leg, one shin. And just to help you, go to the explanation of the verse. Why you don't do that? Go to Ibn Kathir, Al-Qurtubi, Al-Tabari, Al-Jalalain, and you can go to Sahih al-Bukhari, the book of softening, the book of heart softening, hadith number 6162. You will see they are asking him, Muhammad, are we going to see our God Allah? He said yes. He said, are you going in the day of resurrection? He said, do you crowd and squeeze each other on looking at the sun when it is not hiding by a cloud? They say no. He said, are you going to be crowd and squeeze each others when looking at the moon when it is full moon, full and not hiding by cloud? They said no. Allah Apostle said, so you will see Him, your Lord, on the judgment day, on the day of resurrection. Similarly, Allah will gather all the people and say, whatever used to worship anything should follow that thing, and then to go down. Allah